kids, welcome to a reading lesson with Miss Meadows. Today is a little bit different because we are actually finishing up a module today. We are doing our end of our module project today. So instead of doing a story today with you, I actually have a project, a couple different projects I'm going to be explaining to you today that you can choose from. So what we're going to be doing today while we work on these projects is we're going to be working on synthesizing, which is this anchor chart where we're looking at here. When you synthesize, you put together information from different parts of the text to see the author's ideas in new ways. So for example, think of it as a puzzle. You take different pieces, so the different pieces are different important ideas. So an important idea plus an important idea plus another important idea plus another important idea equals the big idea when you put all those puzzle pieces together, and that is, what does it all mean to me? So as I'm reading a story, I take different little details and I put all those details together to figure out, what did I get out of these stories? So what we're going to do is we're not going to just synthesize one story today. We're actually going to synthesize all the stories today, or not all the stories today, all the stories we've read this module. And remember, we've talked about sportsmanship and different types of sports and working together and kindness and being a good citizen. And we have kind of read a bunch of stories about that topic. And what you are going to get to do is you are going to get to pick, let me make sure I am on top. You are going to get to pick from a lot of these different stories. So remember, we watched our Get Curious video, we read our Good Sports story, there was a Baseball Hour story, we read Goal, we read The Great Ball Game, If You Plant a Seed, we watched Color Your World with Kindness, the video, we read Pele, King of Soccer, we read Get Up and Go, and we read Braun to Arena, and we did a little bit of work with Do Unto Otters too. So we've got all these different stories, and what you're going to do is you're going to take a second and you're going to remember these stories. Now, some of them we read a long time ago, and some of them we just read very recently or did very recently. Remember that all of our videos are up if you want to go back and watch to refresh your memory on any of these videos, but also a lot of these books are in your My Book if you need to peek back into your My Book to remember these stories. But we are wrapping up our module, and we are trying to answer this essential question. Why is it important to do my best and get along with others? Why is it important to do my best and get along with others? We read a lot of stories this module that taught us why we want to do our best and get along with others. And now you're going to pick from 2 projects in order to show me what you know or what you've learned from this module. So the first activity is called Character Remix. Now, Character Remix, I have made a little paper for you to do, and it looks like this. It says Character Remix. Choose 2 of the characters we read about this module and imagine that they met. How cool is that? Draw a picture of them working together and write 1 sentence describing your picture. So I gave you some examples of some of the characters that we read about. So we've got Braun to Arena, we've got the kids from Color Your World with Kindness, we've got, I think her name is Colette from Goal, we've got Pele, King of Soccer, and we've got the rabbit, and then also the birds from If You Plant a Seed. So you're going to pick 2 of those characters, and you're going to pretend in your mind like they met. And what would they do if they met? So an example I can think of that you don't have to use is, I bet if Colette from Goal and Pele, King of Soccer, met, what do you think they might do together? And I remember that Braun to Arena loves to dance. What do you think Braun to Arena would do if she met the rabbit from If You Plant a Seed? What do you think they would do together, or how they would work together? You would draw a picture of that here in the box, and then down below there are 2 lines for you to write 1 sentence about your drawing. Now, I want you to work your hardest to write the words the best you can without having to ask for spelling help. Your teacher obviously can help you, but part of writing is the editing process. So spell your words the best you can. And let's remember what our sentences have to have. A what at the beginning, a capital at the beginning, what at the end, a period at the end, and what in between our words? Finger spaces. And if you have those things, we can fix spelling errors, but just sound out words the best you can, and we can do a lot of work with that. So that's choice number 1. And if you do this choice and you work really, really hard on it, we could see about maybe earning some gems for this to do, to kind of wrap up, okay? Your second choice is Dear Good Citizen. And this says, write a letter to the character you read about who you think is the best citizen. Give reasons why he or she is the best. Read your letter to a partner and talk about it. And then it gives you a word challenge, and it says, can you use the word courtesy to help explain one of your reasons? So courtesy, if you do something as a courtesy, you do it to be kind or polite. So if you could sneak that in, that's like a little extra challenge. Now, for this one, Miss Meadows typed up kind of like a very blank template. And I'll read it to you so we can read it together. It says, Dear blank, you are the best citizen because you are blank. You are a good citizen because you are blank. Thank you for how you blank love blank. Now I'm going to have some of these printed out. If you just want to fill in this template the way it is and just fill in with those adjectives or describing words for how the character that we read about is a good citizen, then you absolutely can do that and you can fill it in here. If you want to pause the video here and you want to write all this out as your choice, you are more than welcome to do that too. If you want to write it in your composition notebook, that's great. If you want to get a blank piece of paper and maybe you want to make an actual card for someone, that would be a great idea too. The HMH wants you to make it for one of the characters we read about. I would be okay, and I think Miss Walter and Miss Brennan would be okay too, if you wanted to make one for an actual citizen that you have seen, that who you think is the best citizen you know, who shows kindness and who shows courtesy to others. So maybe that's someone from our school, or maybe that is someone from somewhere else in our community that you wanted to make one for. That would be appropriate too. But that's kind of your second choice. And both of these activities that you kind of have some creative freedom with. I gave, there's the character remix paper you can use, but there is also, and there's also the template for the Dear Good Citizen letter writing project. So you pick one of those, but if you also wanted to maybe do it on some bigger paper, or maybe we could talk about using the iPads as a choice. This is kind of has some creative freedom. This is your end of module project, so we're going to take a little while to work on this. We want it to be really fine-tuned, and we want it to be really nice, so that maybe this is something we could put in the hallway or send home pictures of you with. We want to really take our time with this. So remember, you're either doing character remix, where 2 characters are meeting, or you're writing a letter to a citizen. There are papers and templates for both of these, but if you don't want to use those and want to use your own supplies, feel free to do that too, but have fun with these projects. If you have any other questions, your teacher is happy to answer them for you. But I had so much fun learning about being a good sport this module, and I hope you did too, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!